I think Kenosha is going to vote for President Trump in the upcoming election. I think we need him here. We need strong leadership. People that are born and raised here are disgusted and angry with what's happened.
President, can you speak at all? You've spoken a lot about the anarchy that you're referring to. What about racial divisions? Would you like to bridge some of those gaps? And do you think that anything that you're saying is helping with that?
I think it's helping because I'm about law and order. And if you look at the black community, they want the police to help them stop crime. The Hispanic community, they want police. 82%, 84%, numbers that you haven't even seen. They don't want crime. They don't want to be mugged. They don't want to have any problems. And it's just a shame. And as far as the previous administration, take a look at Baltimore, what happened. Was it Freddie Gray? Take a look at Baltimore. Take a look at St. Louis. Take a look at Ferguson. Take a look at what happened. What they had was, it put what we're doing, it put them to shame. Put it to shame. Take a look at those places. And you always had Portland. Portland's been like this. I read an article today, for 50 years this has been going on. I'd like to stop it, and we could stop it quickly. All they have to do is say, okay, President, now we're ready. Now we're ready. When I watched that scene last night with all of those really horrible people outside of the mayor's house, I also saw the way they shot the young gentleman in the street. He was targeted. They targeted him. They shot him in the street, and then they were so happy, and he died. You don't mention that. You mentioned somebody sprayed paint at somebody from the other side. They shot a man in the street. They executed a man in the street. A religious man in the street. And you don't mention it. It's not even a story. You talk about other things. The press should be ashamed of themselves. I think the press is actually, the media, is what's fueling this, more so than even Biden, because Biden doesn't know he's alive.
He's coming out.
Up on the curb, guys. Thank you. Stay up on the curb. Up on the curb, guys. Come on. Up on the curb, guys. Come on. Out of the road. No. Thank you. Guys. Up on the curb.
Who got their phone on? Who got their phone on?
All that lights.
Bill. Thank you for coming. I think we're going to help them a lot. Would you like to say something?
I just appreciate President Trump coming today. Everybody here does. We're so thankful that we got the federal troops in to help, because once they got here, things
And
did
who rejected the call originally?
Our governor, Tony Evers, rejected your offer.
But ultimately he called, he said okay, and we sent in the group, and they had a lot of great people here to start with, I have to say. Would you like to say something, please?
Just a great deal of gratitude for everybody from across the state in law enforcement, the federal government, certainly the Wisconsin National Guard, and I understand from several other states. What transpired here is an attack on America, and it can't happen in any community. The way to stop this is to act decisively while still protecting rights, but putting an end to it, and we appreciate the assistance.
This ended within an hour. As soon as we announced we were coming, and then they saw we were here. This ended immediately. And it should be that way all over. Chicago could use a hand. New York could use a hand. Although I'll tell you, if you let New York's finest and Chicago Police Department, they do a great job, but they're not allowed to do their work. A lot of times you're not allowed to do your work, and they could do it themselves. But you have to be decisive, and you have to be tough, and you have to be strong, and you have to be willing to bring people in. So the federal government, like it was in Wisconsin, the federal government's waiting. We just wait for a call. In Oregon, we have Portland, which is just every night, 93 nights. And every day we call, do you want us? Do you want us? And last night they attacked very viciously the mayor's house. And we were ready to go in just in case if it got any worse, but it was bad. And this man just stands here and says, no, we have a democracy. You don't have a democracy when that happens, actually. You have the opposite of a democracy. So I want to thank all of you for being here, but this is in really great shape, and we're looking at a couple of other locations. Now, we can do them all at one time. We're very well equipped. Our National Guard is great, and our military is beyond any military in the world. It's totally restocked and in great shape. We won't have to use military. I don't think we'd have to use military, but we're ready to go with whatever power we need to use. In Washington, D.C., we have a radical liberal mayor, Democrat, and she's, I guess she just doesn't get it. But she's trying to work with the White House and with Secret Service, but it would be so easy to solve that. So we may have to do something there. It'll take approximately 15 minutes. You don't see people ripping down statues anymore because I signed essentially a law. I signed a statute that you knock down a statue, you knock down a monument, it's 10 years in prison. And it amazingly stopped. You haven't had any problems since then, Ron, right? So it stopped. So I just want to thank everybody. You have done a fantastic job. Ron, thank you very much. Congressman, great job. Really great job. Thank you all very much. Well, we have the pastor here who's tremendous. He's a tremendous gentleman. I'm going to meet him in a little while. He represents the family. And I think it's probably better off if that's handled locally right now. It's under investigation, as you know, so I think it's much better. I actually suggested we handle it locally. I was going to speak to the mother yesterday. I hear she's a very fine woman. I was going to speak to her, but then I heard there were a lot of lawyers on the phone. I said, I have enough lawyers in my life. I don't need to get involved with that. I spoke with the pastor. The pastor's going to see me in a little while. He is really a terrific guy, if you know him. He's a terrific guy, so I look forward to that. But we're going to, this is going to heal very quickly. We're going to help them from an economic standpoint, and we're going to make a contribution to your law and to what we call law and order. Some people think those are two terrible words, law and order, and they're not terrible at all. They're beautiful. They have to be used judiciously. They have to be used properly. But I wish somebody would have called. When I called the governor, I wish he would have accepted night 1 instead of night 3. Because night 1, those stores would still be up. But he's better than many. He accepted. In all fairness to the governor, he accepted. And when he accepted, it all ended. So I want to thank the governor, and I want to thank everybody, but in particular, I want to thank your police and your great people from law enforcement. They've done a fantastic job. I want to thank you all. You've done a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Great job.
I just want to say thank you so much for your rapid response and the fact that that you're coming to a small city in the United States, and just saying that that's as important as every other city, and the fact that we did get things under control. This guard has been phenomenal. Our law enforcement people have been working together. We usually work pretty well together in southeastern Wisconsin, but this really helps. And Ryan's has a lot to do with that, too. You can tell because you worked with him. So thank you so much. You're in our prayer.
Well, thank you. And your reputation's a great one, so thank you very much. And also, this area is a special area. We can't let that happen to this area. So we got here quickly and did the job. Violent mobs demolished or damaged at least 25 businesses, burned down public buildings, and threw bricks at police officers, which your police officers won't stand for, and they didn't stand for it. These are not acts of peaceful protest, but really domestic terror. My administration coordinated with the state and local authorities to very, very swiftly deploy the National Guard, surge federal law enforcement to Kenosha and stop the violence. And I strongly support the use of the National Guard in other cities, and the same thing would be happening if we did that. You'd have the same thing happen in Portland, and it would happen very quickly. It would all be over very, very quickly. And I just want to thank the two of you for acting so strongly and so bravely and getting it done, and the coordination has been fantastic. You still need that coordination no matter how many people you send in.